Stay hydrated. So, what is up, everyone? Welcome. If you're new, welcome. My name is Melanie. I don't even have a post schedule yet, so leave me alone. It'll happen. It'll happen, but everything takes time, guys. Everything takes time. Okay, so if you're new here, welcome. Join if you want to. We're just gonna call this the Get It Together fam until I figure out a better name. When I figure out, today I wanted to talk about my school. So I won't talk about like the actual college I went to. I think you guys would figure it out if you watch my old videos. But I just want to talk about my experience not having the major that I want, and honestly not even having the like career path I wanted, and how I got around that. If you are in a situation where you're in college and you can't switch out to another school, if you can't transfer, or if you don't want to transfer, or if you're feeling stuck, or if you're not even in college yet but you're trying to figure out if that is the right decision for you, you've come to the right video, maybe. Anyways, so today, I'll just be talking about that. So, I went into college wanting to be a doctor. Doesn't everybody? I just think that the workload was so crazy that I was like, nope, not happening, not today. Just the amount of years that it takes for you to become an actual doctor is insane, and there has to be so much passion with that, and the passion wasn't there, was not there. So at the end of my second semester, I decided to switch my major. I wanted to do something along the lines of music and art. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that it was something along those lines. And it was interesting process. So my sophomore year, I was a multidisciplinary studies major, which is basically your own major, because they didn't have in my school the major that I wanted, which was music production or music technology, and instead they only had music technology as a minor, and they had like orchestral music as a major. And I didn't want to do orchestral music because, one, I didn't know how to play an instrument. Two, I was like, what is this? I don't want to be in an orchestra. And what is classical music? Even though I love classical music, but just no. So I did that. I was concentrating in digital art, music technology, and business at the time. And I really, really liked what I was doing. However, it still wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. Ideally, what I wanted to do was have a major in music technology and then a minor in business and digital art. Ideally, that would have been the choice for me. I could have transferred, but honestly, I didn't want to. I had built a community in my college, and I just felt like I would have to start all over again in another school. And the schools that I was looking at, they were either out of state, meaning it would be more money, or it was in state, but it would mean like I would have to make new friends, and I would possibly have to stay home in order to save money, and I wasn't about to do that. So I worked my way around it by getting a new major. So my junior year, after taking a couple of business classes, they cut me out. They were like, it's a dub, that's it, you can't do it anymore. And I was like, what? So basically, how the system works in my college, it might be different for anyone else's college, but in my college, the people who are majoring in a certain major, in a certain topic, so let's say, for example, business. If you're a business major, then you get first choice in classes, and then the minors get first choice in classes, and then the people who are like a multidisciplinary studies major and interdisciplinary studies major, then they get to choose, and then people that are just like random majors that have nothing to do with business can choose the classes. I went to a very big school. Literally, by the time that I would get to any classes for business, they were awful. Especially because I wanted to do marketing specifically. I think if I would have gone back, I would have still wanted to do marketing, but I also wouldn't mind doing financing. But you know, everything happens for a reason. So I was crushed because basically they had told me that I could no longer do a minor in business because the specialty that I wanted to do was very popular and I would not be able to get into the classes. So I was like, bitch, what? Like, looking back, I was so dramatic about it. It was not that serious. So then I switched. Instead of business, I did sociology, and I don't regret it because sociology was amazing and I love it. And going back again, I would have double majored honestly in sociology and music with a minor in business and digital art. Yeah, in that order. Um, and then I also found my love for digital art, which I did not even know I actually liked digital art that much. So like I said, everything happens for a reason. For anyone that is going through this or might go through this or whatever the case is, definitely this whole time I was with an advisor, speaking to them, understanding the situation. I literally was there every day. They knew me by my first name. They knew me by just looking at me. They were like, oh my god, this is annoying ass bitch again. But I did not care because I was like, I'm going to graduate and you're going to figure out how to make my life less of a hell. Thanks. So, first thing I would definitely say is to make sure beforehand, if you can. I know it's difficult to basically figure out your whole life in like 18 years. But if you can figure out exactly what you want to do or something very similar to it, definitely do that beforehand, and look at schools that have your major or any hobbies that you like that could potentially be a major, because art and music to me were like a hobby that became something that I wanted to do as a passion. So if you have hobbies that might become majors for you, definitely look at schools that have oh, a wide variety of majors. Trust me, it'll make your life easier and you won't have to transfer. The second best decision you can make is to transfer. I think that if I would have transferred, things would have been a little bit different. I probably could have done the major that I really wanted to do. But again, there were like pros and cons, and I weighed that, and I was like, nah. So if you can, and you have the money and the accessibility, definitely transfer. It's the best decision you can make, and yeah. Third thing I would say is make sure that that's the major that you want, and don't be so sure that you're gonna stick to that major. Like I said, I changed my major I think about 4 times in total, because I think at one point I also had like art history and digital art instead of sociology. And then I was like, no, for the art history, and I just put sociology. So definitely understand that you might have multiple interests, and changing your major is very common in college. So stick to them if you can. The last point I want to make is that you have to supplement your interest, and I would recommend it. If your major is not in your school and you have to stay in your school, or if you have like a similar major to what you actually want, definitely do something that on the side, so that when you get out of college, you kind of have experience in that field already, even if it's not a degree. So for example, for art, for example, if you want to be a graphic designer, I would recommend that you would go and get Adobe or Adobe Suite, or even like the free apps like GIMP, and just start messing around with it and doing graphic designs and building a portfolio. And after building a portfolio, then you can get an internship. I highly recommend getting an internship and getting work experience, because at the end of the day, college, the degree is not going to get you the job, the experience is going to get you the job. So even if you don't have a major in graphic designing, the fact that you have a portfolio and you have work experience, they will more likely than not hire you than somebody that just has a degree with no experience. Second thing is, let's say you're in a school and you don't have a degree. They don't have the degree that you want to do, and you can't move, and you're kind of stuck there, and that's all you can do. You have two choices. You can either leave the school, which I don't recommend because I think some form of education is always great, or you can stay and do another major for something similar to what you want to do, or something that would benefit you in the long run. For example, for my major, I definitely thought of my major a lot. So for me, the reason why I picked business was not necessarily because I like business, but it's because business is nearly in everything. So I knew going forward, if I wanted to be in the music industry and the entertainment industry, I would have to understand business, which is why I did business with marketing. And then when I switched into sociology, the reason why I did sociology, because a part of being creative is also understanding human beings. And I like that sociology focuses more on groups than on individuals. So that is why I picked sociology. So in a way, there has to be some purpose into your major. Just don't pick a major just cause. But definitely, if you're in a situation where you're in a school, you can't leave, you don't want to leave, but it doesn't have the major that you want, and it doesn't even have something similar to what you want, definitely make a supplement for yourself. Make a hobby on the side, or do an internship, or figure out how to make your hobby into a business of some sort. And then pick another major like business, like sociology, like psychology, any general majors like that can in the long run help you out. Like I said, I wish people would have told me these things beforehand, because honestly that would have changed my whole perspective on college. I would also say make sure that you do your research also. Sometimes counselors don't even know what the heck they're talking about. So just make sure that you're also proactive in doing research on your major, on job availability and stuff like that, because that is such a huge thing. I recommend, if you need some time off, to just think about what exactly are your next steps in terms of your major, what you want to do. Definitely taking a semester off would be great for you, just so that you're not wasting time and money thinking about what to do. If you guys want any more material like this, definitely let me know. I can also talk about how to get your life together for right after college or right before like junior year and onward. Um, and yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you back.